Monday Night Football. We are in Mexico City as the San Francisco 49ers take on the Arizona Cardinals today. I got my favorite player prop, spread pick, same game parlay coming your guys' way. What's going on? My name's Austin from Calling Our Shot, and if you're new to our channel, go down below, hit that subscribe button, drop a like too, and even drop your favorite play for this Monday Night Showdown. Like I said, we're in Mexico City, change of scenery for both these two teams, and thank you guys again for 55,000 subscribers. Before I dive into my player prop for this game, a moment from today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by Game Time. The holiday season is right around the corner. What better gift to get your friends, family, loved ones than a ticket to their favorite team, artist, or play? Game Time is the perfect app for doing just that and buying those tickets. Game Time has the lowest prices, the best deals, and is super easy to use. But wait, that's not even the best part. If you sign up using our code Calling Our Shot, you will get $20 off your first purchase over $150. So you save money and you get to spend time with your family, friends, and loved ones. Sounds like a win-win to me. Thank you again to Game Time for sponsoring this video. All right, let's hop into my favorite player prop, and we will be riding with George Kittle, the starting tight end for the San Francisco 49ers, taking his over 41.5 receiving yards, minus 115 on BetMGM. Now, Kittle, I saw the highest line on FanDuel was 44.5. I'm obviously on BetMGM, but if you want to go up even higher, feel free. Probably play it up to 45.5, but I do think Kittle has a pretty good day, and I'll give you a hint. In the same game parlay, we have an alt line for him. You'll see that in a little bit. Now, Kittle started off the year a little bit slow, thanks in large part due to an injury, but he's been back, and a lot of people think, this guy's a great run blocker. We know he's a great blocker, and sometimes people think he's just sitting in pass protection, but over the past 2 weeks, we've actually seen Kittle running a lot of routes, just doesn't have a lot to show for it. But the last 2 weeks, we've seen Kittle run a route on 93.1% of Jimmy Garoppolo's dropbacks. He's run 27 routes exactly the past 2 weeks, and yeah, he doesn't have a lot to show for it. If you have him in fantasy football, you're not loving what he's been doing. But the last 2 weeks, we've seen him have 3 receptions on 5 targets for 39 receiving yards, and then 1 reception last week for just 21 receiving yards. Now, Kittle, large in part, he's had bad matchups. I mean, he's had to play the Chargers and the Rams, 2 teams elite at stopping tight ends. This matchup against the Cardinals is great for him to bounce back, and it's great for him to have a big night on Monday Night Football. And prior to going under in 2 straight games, Kittle actually had hit this over in 3 straight. He had 98, 83, and 47 receiving yards. If you want to ladder up George Kittle's line, I don't blame you. At 80-plus receiving yards on FanDuel is plus 450. I think he has a chance to even get 90-plus. I think Kittle's going to crush this line out of the... He's going to crush this one. I have a good feeling about him. But in 10 games so far this year, the Cardinals have allowed 7 tight ends to have at least 40 or more receiving yards hitting this over. That included Noah Fant 2 weeks ago who had 96 receiving yards, and Tyler Higbee last week who had 73. But it's not even that. That's not why we're here. We know this is a great matchup for George Kittle, but he's absolutely dominated the Cardinals over his last 6 games. Look at these numbers. 101, 92, 44, 79, 57, 83 receiving yards. Hitting the over in all 6 of those games, averaging 76 receiving yards over that time span. The Cardinals have been a great team at stopping opposing wide receivers, so I think Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel might be in for a little bit of a worse day than they have been doing recently, but a guy like George Kittle, a great matchup. He's an offensive nightmare, tough to tackle. I think Kittle sees 4, 5, 6, maybe 7, even more targets tonight. I think Jimmy Garoppolo is going to be looking for a star tight end. Bounce back after a 1-reception week last week. I think Kittle bounces back here on Monday Night Football. I love his over 41.5 receiving yards. Like I said, you can play it at as high as you want. I probably wouldn't play his regular line at 45.5, up to 45.5, but I think Kittle has a great game. Now, as for my game pick, before we get into the same game parlay, I'd lean the Cardinals plus the points, but I'd rather take the over 43.5, minus 110 on DraftKings. Now, we took an identical line on Thursday Night Football, and it cashed. It was 43.5 then, and that cashed. Why not run it back? But all joking aside, I am wearing red in honor of both these 2 teams being red primary color, but that's not really, I don't really want to pick a game pick in this one. I think the over is the better pick. Now, look at 2 teams that want to establish the run. That's going to be these 2 teams. The 49ers, we know, like to run the football. The Cardinals also want to run the football, especially if Colt McCoy is starting for them. But I think altitude and elevation is going to play a big role in this game that I think a lot of people might not be expecting. I mean, people expect altitude to play a role. I think it's going to be a big role because you look at the elevation for this stadium. Now, the highest in the NFL, it's Denver. They're right around 5th. There's a reason they're mile high, 5,195 feet of elevation. The next closest is Las Vegas, 3,000 feet below them. But Estudio Azteca, hopefully I pronounced that right, the location of Monday Night Football, 7,503 feet of elevation. It's going to be tough to breathe for those guys out there, and we could see in the second half these guys get winded, having to go to second and third string guys on the roster, and that we could lead to some mistakes, some chunk plays for the rushing game, and the 49ers even practiced in Colorado all week trying to prepare for it. But I just don't think that either of these defenses will be prepared to stop the opposing offenses, and the Cardinals defense, It's almost been giving up this over in just their team alone. They've been giving up the last 4 weeks 34, 34, 31, and 17 points. Last week they only gave up 17 to a Rams team with John Wofford, a backup QB, and the Rams offense in general has stunk this year. So 17 points to the Rams is really like 24 to 30 for any other offense. The 49ers defense, good on paper, has a ton of injuries though still, and over the last 4 weeks we've seen them give up 28, 44, 14, and 16 points. Now sure, those last 2 weeks you're like, all right, they dialed it back in, but they got to face the Rams, who's, like I said, the offense is stinking this year, and obviously a team that they've owned large in part over the last 5 to 6 years. And then they had to face the Chargers when they allowed 16 points last week. But the Chargers were missing their top 2 receivers, a couple tight ends. I just think Colt McCoy, if he is starting at QB, he's a guy that's going to get the ball out of his hands quick to guys like DeAndre Hopkins. Hollywood Brown is even back for this game. Their tight end, Trey McBride, make a rookie. I know Zach Ertz is gone, but Trey McBride is pretty legit. And I just think the Colt McCoy will be able to get this Cardinals offense up and down the field. I think the 49ers will be able to score some points as well. A final score of 24 to 20 or 27-17 feels certainly likely. I think they might score even more points than that, but those both would hit the over at 43.5. I do like the over as a regular pick. I don't really want to touch the spread in this one. I think that one could be pretty close. I'll take the over 43.5 points as my favorite game pick for this one. Now it's time. Same game parlay time. I got 4 legs going plus 1,261 odds on FanDuel. We're going to talk about George Kittle, 50 plus receiving yards and a touchdown. James Conner, 50 plus rushing yards and a touchdown. Now, we've already talked about Kittle and his yardage, but why do I like him for a touchdown? Well, he does have a touchdown in 2 of his last 4 against the Arizona Cardinals. He did have a touchdown in 2 straight prior to last week when he did not get a touchdown. I think if he has a good day receiving, he could easily get into the end zone. I think he has the best matchup on paper for this 49ers offense. We already like his receiving yards. Why not go get into the end zone, Mr. George? Now, as for James Conner, I think he gets 50 plus rushing yards. I know his regular line is about 48.5 or so. And last week he returned, or he might have returned a week or 2 ago, but 21 carries last week, 69 rushing yards, 2 touchdowns. And when they get in close, James Conner's going to be the guy to get the ball. And look, they traded away Eno Benjamin, so it's James Conner's show. He's going to get a large workload. We just have to avoid him getting injured. But I think you can run a little bit on the 49ers defense, and he's going to see the volume to get it. As long as they don't lose by 30 points, he's going to get the volume. All we're asking for is him to get 50 plus rushing yards and potentially 15 or more carries. All it takes is 1, and he could easily get over half of that. And ask him to get a touchdown. This is a guy that dominated the 49ers last year. He had a touchdown both games versus the 49ers. He had a game with 3 touchdowns against the 49ers last year. I think James Conner, a guy that had a ton of touchdowns last year, he obviously hasn't had a great year so far this year. Obviously, a lot of injuries to play into part of that. But I think James Conner, if they get on the 1, he's going to be pounding in at least 1, maybe 2 times. So I do think James Conner's got a good chance of getting into the end zone. We're sprinkling on it. It's plus 1,261 odds. So don't put a full unit on it, but put a couple bucks. Who knows? Maybe $10 turned into over 120. Look, sign me up. I think both these 2 guys, I think this is great odds. I don't think this should be this crazy of odds. I think both guys got a good chance of hitting the regular overs. And if they get in close, they have a chance to get, you could think George Kittle could get a rushing touchdown as well. You never really know what the heck the 49ers are doing with him. But I like both these 4 legs, both 2 players. I like them both to get it done. But those are my same game parlay. That's my player prop. That's my game pick. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Have a great Monday Night Football. Enjoy this game in Mexico City. It only happens once every couple of years. Maybe they have another one next year. We'll exactly see. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. This is Austin, and I'm signing out. I'll see you guys back again tomorrow. Peace.